Hello, and welcome back to Being Proficient in Excel. Now we're going to work on creating named ranges and dynamic name ranges with our data. The reason we're going to do this is because when we pull the data, named ranges makes it much easier. Plus, it'll be a lot easier for you to follow along if you understand the name range. So, let's make another tab. So, click New Tab. Let's call this named range. Now, first let's make some fake data. So what I want to do is, a lot of people who use Excel will use it to graph things over time. So, let me actually zoom in. Okay, so let's have product 1, product 2, product 3. This is our product category. And here we'll have the months. Let's do January, February. Actually, instead of that, let's not do that. Alright, I want you to do month 1, month 2, and drag it over to month 12. Because sometimes you don't have the actual months. Alright, so now we're going to fill in data. So for the first one, for the first month, for product 1, let's put in 10. And we'll just get some random number larger than this. So I want you to do the previous cell plus the random function. And what this will do is generate you a random number between 0 and 1. And then times this by, let's say, 10. Alright. F2 will show you what we're doing. Now I want you to just copy this to the end, paste it, there we go. For the second cell I want you to do it but start with 13, and for product 3 I want you to start with 15. Copy the formula. Alright, now I want you to copy everything and just paste values. The reason we're pasting values is because the random function will update every time we have a formula. Every time we type something in. So we just want to keep a constant number. So let's highlight everything and go to your home on the ribbon and click here, and that'll just decrease the decimal places. Oh, we can't. Okay, that's weird. Let's try it here. There we go. Okay. Just so it's easier to read. Alright, now we have our data. So there's a few ways to do a named range. The first way is very simple. So if you have a bunch of data here, A, B, C, you can just highlight it and type in named range test. That's it. That's all it is. So when you highlight this, you can see it's called named range test. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into, actually I'll teach you first how to change your named ranges. So it's Alt-MN. So I have 3 here. I was just playing around with them. Let me delete them. Alright, so it'll look like this. You can create a new named range here if you want, or you can create one on the screen the way I showed you. So let's create one here. Click New. So the name range we'll call this our data. Alright? And then delete this here, and this is where we want the named range to be. So let's highlight the data. Done. Alright, our data. So if you click down here, it'll show you that this is where our data is. So why do we use a named range? We use a named range if we're doing our index match. So let's do a quick index match, shall we? So what I want you to do is type month 3 here and product 2 here, and do an index match and give me this value. So we can look, month 3, product 2, it's 21. That's what we should be getting. And since you guys now know the index match, we'll index, and for the array we're going to index, we'll index our data. So there it is, it got it already. And then we can match the lookup value. Actually, why don't we do 2 more name ranges to make it even faster. We'll call this months. We'll call this product. Now watch how fast this is. If you ask me month 3, product 2, right? Index our data, So now we're going to get the row. So we're going to match lookup value, comma the row. This is product, comma 0. Match the column, which is month, in month, comma 0. Done. So this formula is much more simple than we had before. Let's go back to the last tab. So you can see here last time we did index match, it was quite complicated. There's all these all these letters and cell references. Nobody will be able to read it. This is very easy to read. Okay. Now dynamic name range is when you want to have your name range move when you add data. So for example, let's add another product. We'll do the same thing we did here. Let's put 16. This cell will equal 16 plus rand times 10. Copy this over. Copy these values. We'll shrink the number of decimals. So now what? Now if you typed in product 4 here, doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Well, because our data only covers here. That's the problem. So we're going to make it dynamic, which means it'll move. To do that, I'll have to teach you the offset function, which is very, very useful, and it's also very confusing. I would say the difficulty level is about the same as the index match, so let's take your time with it. So you type offset. The first thing so what this is going to do is give you a range of data. So it's pretty much going to give you the name range. So reference is where you start. So always start in the top left of the data that you want. So we're going to try to get all this data, so let's start here. Okay. The rows and columns, put 0. That is how many rows and columns you want to offset the original number from. So right now, we want this cell. If you wanted one of these cells over here, we could write B2 and then offset it a few columns. We're not going to do that. And then all you have to do is the height and the width. So if you just had a height of 2 and a width of 2, it would be just these 4 cells, and that would be the offset. Now, it's easy to show you this in the name manager. So let's go back, Alt-MN. Let's make a new one. Type in test offset. And here we're going to test our offset function. So let's type it in, offset. Now the starting cell, we'll click here, comma 0, comma 0, and let's put 2, 2, row columns 2, 2, right? Enter. Now if you click down here, you can see, oh great, it did highlight that. So now what we want it to do is not go 2, 2, 3, 3, you know, we want it to automatically figure out how far it should go. Okay? So to do that, we're going to use the count_a function. What count_a does is it counts the number of cells that have values in it. So if we do count_a of A5 to ZZ5, that'll go pretty far. We have 13. That's because we have 13 entries here. If we do count_a of A1 to A100, you'll see we have 5. So this count_a is counting the height, this count_a is counting the width, and that's exactly what we're going to do in the offset function. So let's go back to name manager. Let's do our, let's make a new one called full data. All right. Now in here, we're going to type equals offset, starting cell, grab it, 0, 0. Now it's height then width. So the height that we're going to do is right here. So let's do a count_a. We're going to start from here, and we're going to go to A100. All right? Then we're going to comma width. Okay, well, we're going to count_a again. We're going to start here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. For width, we're going to start here. Oh, that was my mistake. See, catch my mistakes here. All right. Count_a. We're going to start here, where we were before. And we're going to go to B, let's say 200. And then for the width, we're going to count_a, same starting spot. We're going to go to ZZ2. Okay. Now when you click on full data, it gets our whole data range. Got it. While we're here, why don't we do headers? We'll do months and product. We'll redo months and product, okay? So months, we'll redo with an offset. Alright, so we're going to start here. We're going to go 0, 0. Now, the height is going to be just 1, because we only want the first one. But the width, we're going to do a count A. Count A, start here, and we'll go to ZZ1. Alright, so let's click that. That seems to work. And let's go to product, same thing. Offset, start with the first product, 0, 0. Now the height we're actually going to have a count A for. Start at the first product. Let's go to A200, and the width is going to be 1. Oh, made a mistake here. Hold on a second. I actually clicked. There we go. All right. So we have the height, the width, perfect. Everything's perfect. All right, now we're ready. So let's add another product. All right. Same thing I want you to do. 17. This number will equal 17 plus the random function times 10. Copy it down. Go to the home. And then paste his values. All right, perfect. Okay. So now that we have the dynamic name range down, we'll be able to pull the data much, much easier. So thanks for watching. The next video we'll have will be pulling data, formatting, and graphs. Alright, thanks. Bye.